sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to report. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, well, that's simple. Just go to shrmedia.com, click on the Listen, Watch Live button, and while you're there, jump into the chat room, join the conversation. How's everybody doing today? I don't know about you. I'm doing pretty good. Well, actually, I was doing pretty good right before the show. I went to check to see if something came in the mail, and I had a letter taped to my door. And it's my HOA. First off, I don't like things taped to my door. I don't like glue on my door, and it's pissed me off. Secondly, I hate when they put a notice to say you are in violation of something. When they quote you the violation, but they don't tell you how you violated it. See, it's something over the garbage cans, which I put mine up into my garage. But the house next to me has been for sale. And the realtor company put out the garbage cans and had them out there for a couple of days. It's in between our houses where both of our garbage cans go. So I'm wondering if these jackasses think it's mine. So they come knocking on, not even knocking. They don't even have the guts to come up and say, hey, your garbage can's been out. Oh, by the way, that was the house next door. Oh, shit. Sorry. Thank you, Dan. You know, it's chicken shit tactics. And what's funny is I got a German Shepherd that lays by the front door. They snuck up to that front door and took off because my German Shepherd didn't budge all day. Didn't budge all day. Not a bark. So they played ninja because they were too much of a pussy to come up and knock on my door and have a conversation. Oh, that pisses me off. If I did something, let me know. Let me know exactly. One time I got a notice and it said, you're not allowed to have objects near your front door. Okay. So I called the management company up. I said, I want to correct the issue. What was at my front door? I have a little child's bench out there. She goes, oh, no, that's acceptable. I said, okay, so what was at my front door that put me in violation? I don't know. They didn't tell me. They just said there was something in front of your door. I said, well, how am I supposed to correct the issue if I don't know what it is? And you don't. Oh my God. I'm like this close to running for the HOA presidency. The only problem is I'd shut the damn thing down. I would shut it down. The one we got right now, they don't follow the rules. They pick and choose who they're going to enforce the rules with. And it really pissed me off because the state of Florida decided it would be a smart idea to deregulate the HOAs, and they consider them a private business. And they gave them the power to foreclose on houses. So we literally got dictators going through Florida now with these HOAs. And this one is, I'm not happy with it. And I got left alone for years by the HOA, and now it's just, they're becoming assholes. We got some president that's, I guess, thinks he's like God because he's the HOA president. But enough on me complaining. Other than that, I had a great day. Nice, calm, relaxing, going over the news, getting chuckles. I laughed my ass off last night when I heard that Joe Scarborough announced he is leaving the Republican Party. And the first thing that popped in my head was, he was a Republican? He didn't sound like it. He didn't act like it. He may have called himself a Republican. Hell, I can call myself Mary Poppins. Doesn't make me Mary Poppins, does it? He may think he's Mary Poppins, or excuse me, a Republican. He never acted like it. Yeah, now what the heck is going on? Oh. All right, that should have corrected the issue. I have shit getting mirrored and going opposite and all this crap. I don't know how that happens sometimes. It's weird. Weird. So yeah, this smack job. During the preview of an interview set to air on Tuesday, broadcast at CBS's The Late Show, MSNBC's Morning Joe co-host and former Congressman Joe Scarborough announced that he isn't going to be a Republican anymore. Scarborough said, "This is well before Donald Trump was elected president that my party betrayed my core values. I remember back in December of 2015 when Donald Trump supported a Muslim ban, I said on air, it's very simple. It's black and white. I said I could never vote for anybody in my party that would say they were going to ban people because the God they worship." Oh. Yeah. I love how that is overblown and misinterpreted. Because yes, on one time he said that. And the next rally, he immediately clarified when he made the statement he was talking about extreme Muslims, extreme terroristic Muslims. But I love how Democrats can lump everybody together from a small group of bad people, but when you do it, it's racist, sexist, xenophobe, and all these other phobias and isms. Well, he continued, it was disturbing throughout the entire campaign in February when he talked about David Duke and pretended that he didn't know who David Duke was and didn't know what the Ku Klux Klan was. You didn't have Republicans coming out and saying, I can never support Donald Trump because he's a racist. Because he wasn't, you dumb. Again, you're conflating and twisting things that were said to try to suit your political needs. Yeah, now I'm not a Republican anymore. Now you're going to show your true colors that you always have been a fucking Democrat. You were a transgender, political transgender. You acted like you were a Republican, but deep down inside, you always knew you were a fucking liberal. And now it's coming out the truth. You are a liberal, Joe Scarborough. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Actually, it does, because Donald Trump has made it so these established turncoats that have been hiding in the party are getting exposed. And then he goes on, they always have 1,000 other excuses why, but they always overlook that Judge Carell, he attacked him and said he can never be fair because he is Hispanic. This man, you could tell he was a politician and a political attack dog, because he's twisting words, misinterpreting, changing to suit his needs. He sounds exactly like liberal. He he's racist. What has he done that's racist? What has he done against Muslims? Wow, 6 countries. 6 countries. Not even the top Muslim countries. Ooh, yeah, that's a great Muslim ban. Not even banning the top Muslim countries. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's real harsh. Fucking idiots. I swear. Brains were dynamite. They couldn't blow their goddamn nose. And he concluded, I'm a Republican, but I'm not going to be a Republican anymore. I got to become independent. And it won't be long before he goes over. You know, he's got to do that slow progression that I evolved over a couple years. Same old bullshit. Same old bullshit. I get so sick of it after a while. And he's just doing this crap to get more attention for his crap show. He is a joke. I'm trying to be nice here when I talk about the little smack job. Let's see. See if there's any audio of this asshole. I mean, this commentator. He picked a fight with Donald Trump. And then he went crying afterwards. That's the funny part. He picked the fight, got his ass smacked, and then cried about it. Here, let's see if this has any audio to it. Come on. Trying to get it in the hole. All right. Nope. How about iPod? Come on. Yeah. Come on, quiet down.
You've changed your attitude about Donald Trump. Why haven't other Republicans done the same? Because you're a Republican congressman. What do you think is happening with your own party?
Well, I think it's inexplicable. But this is well before Donald Trump was elected president that my party has betrayed their core values. I remember back in December of 2015 when Donald Trump supported a Muslim ban. I said on the air, it's very simple. It's black and white. I said I could never vote for anybody in my party that would say they were going to ban people because of the God they worshiped. You look at... And
what about now? There have been so many things with these revelations now.
But the problem is, though, again, it was disturbing through the entire campaign. In February, when he talked about David Duke and pretended that he didn't know who David Duke was and didn't know what the Ku Klux Klan did, you didn't have Republicans coming out saying, I can never support Donald Trump because he's racist. They would have 1,000 other excuses why. But they always overlook that. Judge Curiel, when he called a guy from Indiana, he attacked him, said he can never be fair because he's Hispanic. Republicans didn't come out and say, I can never vote for Donald Trump because he's a racist. Time and time and time again, they turned the other way. And they're doing the same thing now. And it's actually disgusting. And you have to ask yourself, what exactly is the Republican Party willing to do? How far are they willing to go? How much of this country and our values are they willing to sell out?
But aren't you a Republican?
I am a Republican, but I'm not going to be a Republican anymore. I've got to become an independent.
Oh, boy. Well, thing is, the party that he was a part of didn't know how to stand up. They didn't know how to fight back. They lost battles time and time and time again to the liberal movement. He talks about core values and the values of America. The values of America voted Trump in. He's listening to the people. He's not listening to bullshit politicians that have their own agendas, like Mr. Scarborough there. So, Mr. Scarborough, take your outrage and put it with your reporting, because it's the same thing. Fake. You're doing it for a publicity stunt. You're doing it because the Republican president embarrassed your ass on a national stage. This I came across, and I'm like, whoa! I'm still haven't grasped everything from it. FBI document dump reveals secrets of Clinton probe as new director nominee faces Senate. Some 42 pages of highly redacted documents from the FBI criminal investigation into Hillary Clinton's mishandling of highly classified materials paint a picture of a serious but flawed investigation hindered by a lack of cooperation, according to a key watchdog group. The material is all part of a probe dubbed mid-year exam, including several documents designated as grand jury material, indicated the potential seriousness of an investigation that would ultimately be ended by FBI Director James Comey in July, then restarted for a brief period in October before being shut down for good. One redacted exchange reveals a back-and-forth subpoena response to the FBI from one of Miss Clinton's private attorneys, Catherine Turner, a partner at Washington, D.C. powerhouse firm Williams and Connolly. In the document, Turner agreed to turn over one of Mrs. Clinton's non-secure Apple iPads and two of her BlackBerries to the FBI. Quote, the new records show how badly the Obama Justice Department and FBI mishandled the Clinton email investigation. Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch. But neither smartphone received from the law firm contained a SIMS card or a secure digital and SD card, and a total of 13 mobile devices identified by the FBI as potentially using ClintonEmail.com email address were never located by Williams and Connolly. We are presuming there are still 13 devices at issue. As extensively reported by Fox, Clinton would often task aides, including Monica Hanley, with finding and supplying the Secretary of State never-ending demand to use non-secure BlackBerries for all her official government work. Some of Clinton's BlackBerries wound up being pounded with a hammer on orders by Huma Abedin after Clinton's homebrew server went down, or when news that Clinton's confidant, Sidney Blumenthal, email had been hacked in 2013 by a Romanian hacker known as Guccifer. The new documents offer a glimpse into the alluring ballot inside the Beltway, as this surrendering of two BlackBerries and one iPad by her private attorney occurred just 6 days before Hillary Clinton, then leading Democrat nominee for president, testified before Congress on October 22nd, 2015, about the 2012 terrorist attack in Benghazi, Libya. In a photo captured in the Benghazi hearing, Turner and her law partner, David Kendall, pointedly flanked Clinton during her marathon testimony before the House Select Committee on Benghazi. Also hovering nearby was longtime Clinton aide Cheryl Mills, who was also at the epicenter of Clinton's deliberative use of a non-secure email system while she headed one of the most sensitive federal agencies in the United States government. We'll get more to this right after the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highlandsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholics do it, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, if you want to watch a broadcast, just go to shrmedia.com. All right, we're going to continue with this article of this a document dump that reveals a secret of Clinton probe. Mills, who is Clinton's chief of staff and counselor at State, received immunity for her cooperation into the email investigation, was permitted to be in the room while Clinton interviewed by the FBI in July 2016. Comey would later admit publicly that he had never heard of a potential witness representing the subject of an FBI investigation to be present during an interview with investigators. The whole thing smells like shit. It's anybody who's not playing partisan politics and looking at this honestly. Now, I know there's a lot of Democrats that start looking at this going, shit, she's crooked. Nope. This is bullshit. And that's how Trump won. That's why Democrats are pissed about this, because it cost their votes. It did. Because it woke people up to the horror that is Clinton. But nearly a year had passed since Comey's then boss, Attorney General Loretta Lynch, held her infamous tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton in Phoenix, Arizona. 8 days later, Comey announced on July 5th, 2016, that regarding the handling of the classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. Comey made his determination despite noting that Clinton and her colleagues were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information. And even though 22 top secret email exchanges deemed too damaging to national security to release, some of those exchanges contain special access privilege, information characterized by intel expert as above top secret. They, the FBI, were played by Miss Clinton's lawyer and didn't care, Fenton said. The Trump Justice Department needs to audit this mess and figure out if the Clinton matter needs to be reopened or reinvigorated. In the latest documented dump by the FBI, a whopping 325 pages are cited as totally deleted pages. The 42 pages that were released and are only readable in parts include 117 redactions. The redaction includes those made citing Freedom of Information Act exemption under B7E, which the information is denied because revelations could disclose investigation techniques. Now, 64 days after James Comey was fired by President Donald Trump as the director of the FBI, Christopher Wray is scheduled to sit down before the Senate Judiciary Committee for the start of his confirmation process. Two former agents with the FBI told Fox News they hope that the atmosphere is changed with a new director. From what I hear, it's better now, but with Comey there, it was not doing good. There was a lot of people that wanted to quit and leave. They were embarrassed how it was handled. I would have been embarrassed. This is the mess that is the Obama administration. This is not the first time it happened, and it wasn't the last time. He covered up more issues and then played that there wasn't no scandals. Again, they think if they say it, it becomes true. And in some Democrats' mind, it becomes true. Now, this gentleman, or excuse me, what the fudge? Somehow I screwed this up. Hold on. I see what I did. Give me 1 second to correct this. Please hold. We're having technical difficulties due to a stupidity mistake. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Trying to figure something out. Carry the 2 minus the 3. There it is. All right. Almost done. Almost done with my total screw up. Total blonde moment. Oh, there we go. Damn. Oh, I hate when I do something like that. Hooray for Hollywood. Oh, man. I really hate when I do stupid shit like this. Don't you? All right. You ready to scream your head off? Attorney for serial deportee accused of killing Kathy Steinle is blaming the gun. It is the gun's fault. On Tuesday, attorney Matt Gonzalez suggested blame for Kathy Steinle's death rest with a Sig Sauer handgun rather than the serial deportee and felon Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez. Sanchez is accused of shooting and killing Stein with a stolen Sig Sauer handgun on San Francisco's Pier 14th on July 1st, 2015. Days after Kate Stein's death, it was reported that Sanchez was a 5-time deportee and a 7-time convicted felon. The gun with which he allegedly shot Stein had been stolen from a car of a Bureau of Land Management agent. Now Sanchez's attorney says the gun is to blame. Writing in the feature opinion column of the San Francisco Examiner, Gonzalez claims that Sig Sauer handguns are prone to accidental discharge due to the light trigger pull when the gun is in a single action mode. While this trigger pull does allow for greater first shot accuracy, Gonzalez overlooks the fact that the only way to get the gun into a single action mode are to A, rack the slide to load a round into the chamber, or B, use one's thumb to cock the hammer on the back of the gun, manually placing it in a single action. Otherwise, the gun is in a double action and the trigger pull is more than twice that of a single action. For those who may not know single action from double action, a single action handgun with a hammer is one in which one action, pulling the trigger, releases the hammer from a held position, striking the fire pin and firing a bullet. All that happens in a single action. And a double action, pulling the trigger, does two things. One, it draws the hammer back to the held position. Then two, releases it so that it strikes the firing pin and fires a bullet. Obviously, the single action trigger pull would be shorter and lighter, but one has to manually cock the hammer back or rack the slide in order to reach single action mode. Nevertheless, Gonzalez tries to bolster his claim that Sig Sauer handguns are prone to accidental discharge by pointing to 8 accidental discharge amongst law enforcement nationally over a 15-year period. 8 accidents nationally in a 15-year period. That right there is such a small number to prove that that gun isn't that prone to accidents. But even the figure of 8 accidental discharge over a 15-year period can be misleading because some of the Gonzalez examples include a sheriff deputy in Michigan accidentally discharged his Sig Sauer. A New York transit officer accidentally discharged his Sig Sauer while holstering it. And a federal air marshal in New Jersey unintentionally shot himself while handling his Sig Sauer service weapon. These are not examples of a gun just going off, of a gun just firing a round on its own. Again, a Sig Sauer has to be manually placed in a single action mode. And even then, it has a decocking lever, allowing the person using to release the hammer without firing a round. Releasing the hammer in this fashion returns the gun to double action, which has the heavier trigger pull. Gonzalez complained that the decocking lever, too, claiming it is not clearly marked, but did not say whether it ought to be marked in English only or whether the bilingual marking would be necessary to make things clear in the event that a 5-time deportee was holding the gun. I sit here in a total amazement. I know the lawyers have to defend, and they got to think of something to put reasonable doubt. But this guy's got to be pretty shitty. If the best he can come up with, we'll blame it as an accident. Maybe if our law enforcement, our politicians, would have followed the law, this gentleman would have been held and not released back into the public, as he was a danger and illegally in this country. San Francisco was not a sanctuary city that were protecting criminals. Kate Stein would be alive. Maybe if we had this law enforcement and not this lawlessness that went on underneath the Obama administration, there wouldn't be such a shock and awe going on with the enforcement of laws now. It was like having a 5-year-old in charge of this country, and lawlessness was running rampant. And who paid for it? Law-abiding citizens paid the price, not the politicians. Law-abiding citizens paid the price for Obama's arrogance, for the Democrats' disregard for U.S. laws, for the disregard of the safety of U.S. citizens. They're always crying, if it just saves one person. No, they only use that when it's to their advantage. Otherwise, they couldn't give a rat's ass about you or me. I have said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If they thought for 1 second these illegals would vote for Republicans, damn right that border would be secure in 5 seconds flat. They're not out for the betterment of you and me. They're out for the betterment of themselves. And now this shit that's going on today, and we're going to get into it later, it has me even more amazed. And the balls of what they put forth today. This should have been put in 8 years ago. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Saka as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Damn microphone. Oh boy, it's taking a look at something. It has nothing to do with the show. I'm being bad. I'm being very bad. I don't know. Finish looking at that later. So this was pretty disgusting, and I'm sure he's going to get a visit from the Secret Service. A Democrat lawmaker from Maine directly threatened Donald Trump on social media this week, warning the president he would only serve half of his first term if he got within 10 feet of the liberal representative. Maine Representative John Hammond. Let's see. Is that on here? Let me see some. I know I'm having all sorts of goofs up today's, ain't I? Text to speech. All right. H. Where the fuck did it go? There it is. A M A. Let's see.
Hammond.
Yeah, Hammond. Scott Hammond. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it like, what the hell? Posted his unhinged anti-Trump tirade on Facebook, saying the president was instilled by Russians because they wanted to undermine American democracy and labeled Trump an outright closet racist. Well then, fuck you, snowflake. You're a fucking pussy, and the people are destroying America. Some of us are educated and actually follow current event. Trump is a half-term president at most, especially if he ever gets within 10 feet of that. All right, if I ever get. Let me say that again. Trump is a half-term president at most, especially if I ever get within 10 feet of that pussy. Democrats always talk about taking a high road. I have yet to see the fucking high road. I have yet to see them take the high road. You could say it all you want. Doesn't make it true. And that's what they do all the time. They say they take the high road. They have yet to do it. That's how they win the elections. They go and they take the low road. They do whatever the hell they want and then sit there and play, well, I didn't know. Oh. I'm at a loss. And of course, he's sitting back playing. Well, you know, I should. It was just a momentary lapse in bullshit. Hammond is currently serving his third term in the Maine State House as a representative from Southern Portland and serves on both the Health and Human Service Committee as well as the Marijuana Legalization Board. Well, that explains it. Looks like he may have smoked a little too much goddamn weed. Got a little too free with his mouth. The chair of the Maine's Republican Party called out Hammond for his despicable comment, saying, words cannot even begin to describe the level of revulsion I feel after reading Representative Scott Hammond's recent tirade that has come to light. Perhaps the most alarming aspect of this tirade is the implied death threat against our president, she added. Hammond posted an apology a short time later, saying he regrets his impulsive decision to post the incendiary comments on social media. While the tone of the post was born out of frustration with vile language currently surrounding politics, I should not have responded with the same language. I love how they always put themselves up on this pedestal. They think they're better than everybody. And he even says it. He even says it, how they're better. Some of us are educated. They kept throwing that around a lot. They threw that around a lot. they think they're better. They got these college educations. They're better than us. They know better because some professor told them what to think. Well, they are showing their true side. They're emotional, childish, imbecilic. If that's a word, imbecilic. If not, I'm making up a word there. They're showing what they're truly about to the public. This is the Democrat Party, and this is what we can expect out of them. And we actually have a president that fights back. Finally, we have a Republican that fights back. And we have people that are fighting back. Instead of let's take the high road. We need to take the high road. We need to show them we're better. You know, that's all the time. Then they always bash the Republicans. Oh, they go low, they go low. We're better, we're superior. As they do the typical crap. But it just keeps piling up. It just keeps piling up. And it's the same shit. This is not the first time we've had a death threat against our president from a liberal. And it won't be the last. I'll tell you that right now. But it's amazing to see the amount of politicians that are losing their shit. How they're just losing it. That they can't handle a loss. That's how, I mean, it's ridiculous that we're still going on this tantrum. How many months now? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Trump unloads on Hillary over double standard amid reports Dems also got foreign help. President Trump ripped Hillary Clinton and fellow Democrats Wednesday over what he described as a double standard for their respective associates' alleged coordination with foreign governments in the 2016 election. Going on. The president has been on defense over fresh revelation of a meeting with his eldest son held last year with a Russian lawyer who promised dirt on Clinton. But Trump used his widely followed Twitter account Wednesday to draw attention to Washington Times article claiming Democrats had used false information from Russia to attack him and his campaign. ISIS is on the run and will soon be wiped out of Syria and Iraq. Illegal border crossings are weighed down and MS-13 are being removed. Democrats are willfully used Moscow disinformation to influence the presidential election against Donald Trump. Sorry, that was a bunch of tweets of his that just ran together. Donald Trump put out there that ISIS is on the run and will soon be wiped out of Syria and Iraq. Illegal border crossings are way down 75%, and MS-13 gangs are being removed. Then he puts from @Washington Times states, Democrats are willfully used Moscow disinformation to influence the presidential election against Donald Trump. He added, why aren't the same standards placed on the Democrats? Look what Hillary may have gotten away with. Disgraceful. The news report refers back to the questionable dossier written by former British intelligence agent Christopher Steele and allegedly distributed by Fusion GPS, which contained unverified allegations against Trump's team. Fusion GPS, the Democrat-funded opposition research firm, allegedly paid Steele with money from a Clinton bank backer. The dossier eventually fell into the hands of the FBI. The White House and Trump allies also have cited a reported meeting between a DNC consultant and officials at the Ukrainian embassy in Washington, D.C. last year. We all know this is common occurrence that foreign governments say, hey, we got information, and campaigns go and listen to it. Now, all of a sudden, the Democrats are like, oh, my God, this is new. Oh, my God, collusion. Jesus Christ. Hey, I was told by an unnamed source, multiple unnamed sources, that Donald J. Trump has put Russian dressing on his salad, thus proving collusion and treason. I'm surprised we haven't seen that headline from CNN or MSNBC, New York Post, Washington Post, or excuse me, New York Times. I'm serious. I'm surprised we haven't seen something like that. That's how bad they are. I mean, they threw a hissy fit over 2 scoops of ice cream. They're throwing a fit over a meeting. And Hillary's people did similar meetings. What the fucking do? Anything to keep this Russia story alive. Because all this past weekend, I thought it was finally dead. Nope. They're bringing it back with a new spin. They'll keep doing it. And we got 8 years of listening about Russia, don't we? Maybe not. Maybe we won't have Democrats in office that much longer. They keep their shit up. Because after the top of the hour break, which is coming up, we're going to be coming back with big news of what the Democrats did today in the House. That could have huge implications for the 28 election. White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee said on Monday, if you're looking for an example of campaign coordinating with a foreign country or a foreign source, look no further than the DNC, which actually coordinated opposition research with the Ukrainian embassy. This is not an accusation. That is on the record action that they took. The meeting Sanders referred to was first reported in January by Politico. The report cited a meeting between Ukrainian government officials who allegedly tried to help Clinton undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office and shared research and damning information on Trump and his advisor with Clinton allies. The political investigation exposed that a Ukrainian-American DNC operative, Alexandria Chalupa, who worked in the Clinton White House, met with officials in Ukrainian embassy in Washington in an effort to expose ties between Trump's then top campaign official Paul Manafort and Russia. Manafort later resigned. Hillary staff should not have taken, former Hillary staffers should not have taken the meeting with Ukrainian government. Former White House press secretary for George W. Bush, now Fox News contributor, said on Outnumbered on Tuesday. It's okay when Clintons do it. Perfect example how the DNC thinks they're above the law and try to act above the law. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back. Maybe not. Maybe so.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist to me, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. That's right. I try to make sense out of the senseless. This one, there's no making sense out of it. And I think this was a very dumb move on the Democrat Party. I think there's some in the Democrat Party that have even spoke out about it. And they know this is going to hurt them for the 2018 midterm elections. It is official. Democrats have introduced articles of impeachment against Trump in the House. Our progressive Democrats friends have lost their fucking minds when it comes to President Donald Trump. Of course, these same folks are going to call for the impeachment of any president who is to the right of Karl Marx. Progressives inspired Trump derangement syndromes is now well beyond hysteria and is zeroing in on absurdity. Democrats would have the number one and number two DOJ heads recuse themselves from any oversight of the FBI while reports directly to the both of them. Is there no end to this total insanity that is called the Democrat Party? It's being reported a Representative Brad Sherman, a Democrat from California, announced he introduced an article of impeachment against President Donald Trump on Wednesday. Sherman was joined by Representative Al Green, Democrat, Texas, as a co-sponsor on the measure. They have both publicly called for Trump's impeachment in the past, as has Representative Maxine Waters. Now, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has cautioned against impeachment talk despite her own criticism of Trump. Republicans control the House of Representatives, and many Democrats are hesitant to go as far as calling anything done by Trump impeachable, fearing political backlash. Sherman's argument of impeachment is focused on claiming Trump has committed obstruction of justice regarding the investigation of Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. I am pleased that Congressman Al Green has joined me in filing articles of impeachment against Donald J. Trump, Sherman said in a statement. We now begin the effort to force the House Judiciary Committee to hold hearings on obstruction of justice and Russian interference in our election. Not like we don't have, 9 fucking investigations going on already. We have a independent, supposed to be independent, investigation with Mueller. Now they want another fucking investigation. There's more investigations into this than Hillary Clinton killing 4 fucking people at Benghazi. Nobody has died from Trump. 4 people died from Hillary. Put this forth. That's great, because now it shows just how deranged. It's not just talk. That action is there. This gives Republicans great ammunition for 2018 midterms, because all they have to do is hold that up going, people, you have to get out and vote. The Democrats have put forth a bullshit impeachment charge against Donald J. Trump. If they gain the majority, they will impeach and take back control of our government by a coup. Get out and vote for your Republican. Donate. It's going to add so much power to the Republicans. This could send the Democrats further down that rabbit hole. He was also quoted as saying, as the investigation moves forward, additional evidence supporting additional articles of impeachment may emerge, Sherman's statement said. However, as obstruction of justice defined in 18 U.S.C. 1512b3, the evidence we have is sufficient to move forward, and the national interest requires that we do so. Now, here's the funny part. They talk about a Russian conspiracy. What these dumbass Democrats and their leftist media puppet, or is it the other way around? are not getting because of their fixation on collusion is that there is a massive Russian disinformation campaign going on. There is a disinformation campaign going on. Much of the polarization in this country and never-ending accusations are being driven by that Russian information. The ones who have become the pawns of Russia are the liberal legacy media. Who is the one disrupting our policies, our government? That's the Democrats. They're the ones going total ape shit over everything. They're the ones pushing propaganda, putting out false articles, putting out fake news. They're the ones that are interfering with our government. So maybe it's the Democrats, not maybe, it is the Democrats that are in bed with Russia. We've talked about it extensively on the other end, but this is showing exactly what they accused Donald Trump of doing. They are doing. They are doing Russia's work for Russia. And I think it's about goddamn time we start investigating the fucking DNC and all the politicians. Give them a goddamn colonoscopy. And what I mean by that is, really go intense into looking into their background. They want to scream Russia. And they're always the axiom I say, when Democrats are accusing someone of something, they're doing it. They're screaming about Russia. They're doing it. Oh, man, I had a sneeze. Woo. Ah. They are doing it. They are doing exactly what they're accusing Trump of. Nonstop. It's, I know I'm not the only one that sees it. There's other people that see the exact same thing. But the Democrats always run their mouth and make everybody feel like they are the only ones that think this way. Because I have the conversation with my dad, and he talks about a lot of things. He wants to know where Black Lives Matter is protesting over that black female police officer that was assassinated. Where is the hands up, don't shoot? Where is the protest with her murder? My dad's like, am I the only one? And it's like, no, Dad, you're not. Am I the only one that sees that Democrats are the ones that are interfering with our government with Russia disinformation? I'm like, no, Dad, you're not the only one. I have conversations on the internet. I have conversations with people in real life, and they all say the same thing. They wonder if they're the only ones that feel this way. And it's no. It's just the Democrats playing games. They're the ones that are pushing the disinformation. They're the ones that are outright lying. And they're the one, they have the gall. You know what? How many times should charges have been put against Obama? See, the Republicans were kind of smart. They knew they didn't have the numbers. So they didn't want to give Democrats any political power by actually filing articles of impeachment. Just like this is not going to go anywhere with a Republican-controlled House. I don't even think it'll make it to committee. There should be. I would love to see Paul Ryan walk out there, unbuckle his pants a little bit, take that impeachment charge, bend over and wipe his ass with it, and give it back to him, and say, that's what I think of your paperwork. I know he can't do that. I know that. It is getting beyond ridiculous with the Democrats. They're ginning the base up, not of theirs, but the conservative base, Trump's base. They're going to get them up, and there's several Democrats that are up for re-election in Trump won areas. And Trump won some of these areas by big numbers. And I keep hearing Pelosi and Schumer, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to take back control. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, just like you were going to win 4 special elections. Just like you were going to win the White House. Listen, nothing's set in stone. We still have a year to go. Over a year to go. But this right here, this was a big blow. Putting in paperwork, articles of impeachment. That was a stupidity. That was just dumb. That just... Because what's funny is you have people like Bernie Sanders, who his wife's under investigation, and he screams that it's political posturing and attacks from Obama. So put in this paperwork, because they've been threatening way before he even was sworn in. This could just be said. It was just sore losers putting in paperwork. It's just political posturing. It's an attack by the losing side. You know, they're trying to throw a coup into the government. They lost and they can't handle it. And this Trump derangement syndrome, again, I hate saying this all the time, but I said it before and I got to repeat it again. At first it was funny and it was a joke, but it has turned into a real syndrome now. It's real. They just have this hatred that's bubbling up in them, and they can't see reality. They can't see facts. They just have this hatred glaze over their face, and nothing's going to stop them. And that's where it makes me wonder, where are we at in this country? Can we ever come back together? Because we have the diehards on the right and the diehards on the left, and the right used to give a little, but no more. They're tired of it. They've given up too much ground, and the Democrats never give up any ground. Can this country survive the way it's going? It's only a question that can be answered in time. Will we wind up being 2 countries? Which we won't be able to survive that. Could we wind up in another civil war? That's a possibility. The violence is there from the left, and it's sparking the right. The right's getting pissed off. The right's getting tired of it. Could this spark into a global war? Where instead of country, it's politics that plays the sides. Where it could be, a massive global war fought within its own countries against its own selves, but on a global scale. It doesn't surprise me that 2 of the people that are backing this impeachment are from California, behind enemy lines. I feel so sorry for Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, and BZ, because they live in that communist state. It's amazing. I don't know. Is it in the water? Is it in the food? Is it in the air out there? I don't know. Which reminds me, don't forget tonight, right after the Reaver of Common Sense, coming up in about 40 minutes, you have the Sackheads radio show with Sackhead Clint, Sackhead Sean, and BZ. So I guess now for Wednesday nights, it's Sackhead BZ. It worries me. It worries me. I don't want to see any type of major war. I don't. I'm worried about goddamn North Korea, because North Korea is not getting their way. And pretty soon, Iran is going to throw a hissy fit, because when they're not center stage, after a while, they start feeling a little neglected, and they'll throw a little hissy fit to get center stage again. And then North Korea will try to top it and go back and forth. This country's going to hell. This world is going to hell in a handbasket. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catholics do it, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. I just can't believe they actually went through with articles of impeachment. But it's going to make them look like a failure. If it goes nowhere, it looks like a big failure. And that's the part they don't get through their head. Yes, putting the articles, oh, yes, they look so brave in front of their constituents that want it. But then it goes nowhere and they look like failures. But then again, they get that, oh, look at that. They didn't do nothing. No, there was nothing there. Oh. It's, I don't know. I think it's going to hurt them in the long run, and they know it. That's why they've been trying to tell their people to shut the fuck up on it, but their people were not listening. They just don't want to listen. How about this? There's a leaked email. Clinton campaign killed Bloomberg story linking Bill's $500,000 Moscow speech to Russian-friendly stance. A leaked email from Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign, previously published by WikiLeaks, may take on a new significance because it related to key issues brought up in media reports about Donald Trump Jr. and a meeting with Russian lawyer. The email in question was purportedly sent by Jesse, a Clinton campaign foreign policy spokesman and member of the campaign's rapid response communication team. In the correspondence, which has not yet received news media attention and remains searchable in the WikiLeaks archive, Jesse writes that the campaign killed a Bloomberg story attempting to link Clinton's opposition to anti-Russian legislation known as the Magnitsky Act to a speech that Bill Clinton delivered in Moscow for $500,000. In May 21st, 2015 message, sorry, I got a text message. Hold on. Hold on. Please hold while the host does something very stupid on his own time. The May 21st, 2015 message titled May 21st Nightly Press Traffic Summary was purportedly sent by Jesse to the campaign's HRC Rapid Google group and was captured by the leaking of campaign chairman John Podesta Gmail account emails. Jesse lists list of press action as I sit here and stutter and stammer and act like an idiot, carried out by the campaign included this. With the help of the research team, we killed a Bloomberg story trying to link HRC's opposition to the Magnitsky bill to a $500,000 speech that WJC gave in Moscow. Based on Peter Schwerzler's best-selling book, Clinton Cash, the New York Times in April 2015 reported on Clinton's $500,000 speech in Moscow and its possible ties to a deal in which Russia gradually assumed control of Uranium One mining company. You know, everybody forgets about that. Well, I don't want to say everybody, because us on the right, we remember that. We keep talking about that. And we keep pointing it out, and the media and the Democrats are, we don't know what you're talking about. They ignore a lot of facts. They'll ignore that there's more connection from the DNC and Democrat officials. They try to act like they're better. That's weird. Checking on a shipment while I do the show. Oh, give me 1 second. Moms are always a pain in the butt, but you gotta love them. My mom, I got her. I didn't get her. I had a spare 55-gallon fish tank that was in my garage for a while. And finally, my mom's like, maybe it would be nice. So one day I just came over with it. I was like, by the way, here's a fish tank, everything with it. She just had to get a light. And the pump kind of stopped. It's working, but it's not pumping good enough. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So we just ordered a new pump and ordered a 2-day delivery, which should have been here today. But no, it'll be here tomorrow because of when they actually shipped it out compared to when I ordered it. Assholes. So she was just wondering where that was. Now her and my dad love the fish tank, by the way. And we put a red tail shark in it because my dad was like, I want a shark. Being a smart ass, so I got him a shark. Technically, they're not sharks, but they look like sharks. And he loves it. They'll sit there, and it's got the blue moonlight, the LED, and they'll sit there some nights, they said, with TV off, everything off, and just sit there and watch the tank. I got technically 4 tanks in my house. I'll watch them too. It's fun. I'll fall asleep a lot of times out in the living room, and I'll hear the water just running, and it's peaceful. It's a nice hobby once you get it going, and if anybody's looking to get into it, I recommend bigger the better because they're easier to maintain. Once you get them set up, they're easy to maintain. Because smaller the tank, you have a small problem, it messes up real bad real quick. You have a large tank, you have a small problem, well, it counteracts pretty easily by itself. So now I've gone totally off topic, but my show, my rules. I get to be a little kid on this. My rules. Going back to this Hillary Clinton campaign killed a Russia friendly story. The newspaper reported that sale gave the Russians control of 1/5 of all uranium production capacity in the United States. The newspaper further reported Clinton received $500,000 for a Moscow speech from a Russian investment bank with links to the Kremlin that was promoting Uranium One stock. Let's not forget that like $125 million that wound up in the Clinton Foundation's bank account from Russian linked donations. The Magnitsky Act, strongly opposed by Russian President Vladimir Putin, is intended to sanction Russian officials accused of involvement in the 2009 death of Russian lawyer Sergei Magnitsky, an anti-corruption whistleblower who died in prison allegedly after being beaten. As Foreign Policy magazines noted, the Obama administration, with Clinton as Secretary of State, initially balked in 2010 when Senator Ben Cardin introduced the bill, fearing the legislation could harm the much-touted reset attempt between the U.S. and Moscow. Hey, BZ. That reset If anybody remembers when Hillary went with a big red button and, oh, we're resetting our relationship because we want to be friends. And they tried kissing ass, and Hillary went to Putin's house multiple times. That's the funny part. When you start talking collusion and all that, who's been to Putin's personal house, Trump or Hillary? And not Trump, Hillary Clinton. It's ridiculous. And the Russia story just keeps getting more comical and down the rabbit hole by the day. Because the other thing is, I still hear every day, the sky's falling with the Democrats. Everything's the worst possible news. Everything's destroying our democracy. Everything's going to kill everybody. And they just keep going. They don't let up. I don't know. It's in a piece titled "Hillary Clinton Forgot Her Part in a Disastrous Russian Policy." Washington Post columnist Jennifer Rubin referred to Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State, asking why did the State Department try to block the Magnitsky Act for so long? In 2012, the bill was passed when powerful lawmakers demanded the Magnitsky Act be grouped with the administration legislation push to repeal the Jackson-Vanik Amendment, a move that would ease U.S.-Russian trade relationships because the law denied Moscow the ability to trade normally with the U.S. On January 20th, 2012, Clinton wrote an opt in the Washington Journal titled "Trade with Russia is a Win-Win," in which she sought to explain that retaining Jackson-Vanik only fuels more anti-American sentiment in Russia. It's funny. When they were in office, they wanted to be buddy-buddies with Russia. They lose presidency, and all of a sudden, Russia is the worst people on the face of the earth. Does anybody remember a debate with Romney? When Romney was asked what the number one threat to the United States was, and he said Russia. And then I think the comment back from Comrade Obama was 1980s called "They Want Their Policy Back." Gee, it's funny now how they are trying to reawaken the Cold War. It's disgusting how this is going on. And especially now with it actual impeachment paperwork filed. The only thing I can say is it's just deeper down the rabbit hole. The only end game is the destruction of this country. A total split of our politics. I mean, I've heard of people getting divorced over this presidency. It's bad. It's really bad. It's amazing how they turn their backs on so much fact about Hillary Clinton. From Uranium One, Benghazi, Clinton Foundation, email scandal. The list goes on and on. But yet, this wild goose chase of Russia and Trump, it's scary how the media has been so complicit in all this. It's scary. It really has been. Listen, it's that time. Time for a quick break. Yep, and as I was just getting ready to say, BC, don't forget, coming up next, 20 minutes from now, will be the Sackheads Radio Show with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, and Sackhead BZ. And we'll be right back after this brief message. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying coffee is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, don't forget, if you want to watch a live stream broadcast, you can go to shrmedia.com. While you're there, don't forget to join the conversation. Join in the chat room. Just a friendly reminder again, you will have the Sackheads radio show coming up at the top of the hour. Unfortunately, Sackhead Sean cannot make it in tonight. So you'll have the enjoyment of Sackhead Clint and Sackhead BZ. I wish I could be a fly in a Democrat meeting and just listen to the bullshit that's going on. Because I'd like to hear the arguments that go on, because they really can't be this dangerous and this stupid. They can't. There's no way. No way. They put forth a very, very bad candidate. Amazingly bad candidate. She was tainted with scandal after scandal. You know, after one scandal, okay, it was, okay, maybe conservatives out to get her. Then came more scandals and more and more and more and more. After a while, it's not them, it's you. And we've even heard Democrat party members say she was just a bad candidate. She was out of touch. I want to know, how did this meeting with this lawyer from Russia, how did that stop Hillary from campaigning in Wisconsin, campaigning in Pennsylvania, Michigan? How did that stop her from doing any of that? It didn't. Hillary took for granted the people. Period. There is no other part of the sentence. There is no collusion. There's nothing else. Hillary fucked up. Hillary believed the hype that it was owed to her. It was going to be given to her, that she was next in line. So she just expected all she had to do was show the fuck up. And you saw that. She wasn't hitting the campaign trail like Trump did. She was not doing the interviews like Trump. She was not talking about topics. The only thing she campaigned on was Bill Clinton's economy, Obamacare, and Trump bad. Trump says mean things. That was her campaign when she campaigned. She felt she did not need to do anything and that she was just going to win. So now you want me to believe, as American public, you want me to believe that there's some kind of major Russian interference in our election that caused Hillary Clinton to lose, Well, please show me the proof. It's something easy, something basic. Show me the proof. And they can't. They have zero proof. All they have is accusations and articles from anonymous sources, people who cannot speak to the media. And how many times have those sources come up wrong? It's again, the Democrat Party could have been a hero. Obama could have been a hero. He could have probably got a lot of his agenda through if they would have changed their tactic on how they were going to get it through. They got cocky. They got arrogant. And they didn't think they had to work for it. And that's the same with Hillary. Hillary got cocky. She got arrogant. I think the whole Democrat Party at that point had gotten cocky and arrogant. And I don't know why. They lost how many elections? They lost how many seats? And they kept getting cockier. They're not changing anything up. They're doubling down on their mistakes and expecting a different result. So when they want to talk about mental illness, they really need to take a look at themselves. Because they're the ones. Wasn't it Einstein who said definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome? And that's what they're doing. They keep expecting a different outcome by doing the same thing over and over again. It worked a couple times, then the people woke up and saw what was going on with their tactics. And it's not working anymore. And they can't get it through their heads. So they double down and they try harder and harder and harder. And it keeps fizzling. So what am I, as an American citizen, supposed to think? They keep saying they're educated and they're versed on up and coming events, current events. It seems to me the only thing they are educated on is propaganda. The only thing they are current on is propaganda. Fake news. They always make accusations, Democrats do. They always do. That's one of their key tactics. And it has not worked against Trump yet. They keep trying it. They keep going down that path. Same things they say about Trump. We heard about Romney. We heard about McCain. We heard about Bush. Automatically, I think of the new commercials for Bush beer. Bush. And now they all, with Romney and McCain, that was rhetoric. That was just we were campaign stuff. This time we mean it. This time we mean it. They're the little boy that I don't even want to say cried wolf, because Trump's not the wolf. That's why I like the Chicken Little. They've been screaming, the sky is falling. The sky's still up. The sky's still blue. The sun shines nice and bright. And every day that I wake up underneath Trump's presidency, I'm happy. I know I got a president that cares about people. I know I got a president that's going to work to do the best he can. I know I got a president that cares about the country. And I can honestly say Trump is the first president since Ronald Reagan that I think truly, truly loved America. I think President Bush cared about the country. But when 9/11 happened, that's when his patriotism really came about. Through terror, his love came. But it's still not like Trump. And I'm sorry, the man is a goddamn billionaire. Doesn't he have to work another day in his life? His companies are pretty much easy street for him nowadays. And what does he do? He puts his whole life on hold, steps into a world of shit so he can correct the problems in our government. He was powerful already. He was rich already. He didn't need this. He wanted it. He wanted to help. Too many lawmakers nowadays come in poor. And before they even leave, they're millionaires, multi-millionaires. Maxine Waters, Pelosi, Obama. Hey, golf dog. It's the Democrat Party, I think, is on a self-destruct path. And this latest putting impeachment through just, it's going to bite them in the ass in the long run. Trump plays the long game. Democrat Party isn't even playing Parcheesi. With that, everybody, up next is the Sackheads Radio Show with Sackhead Sean. Well, actually, Sackhead Sean's not here tonight. Sackhead Clint and Sackhead BZ. I'm Jersey Joe from the Reaver of Common Sense. I will be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m. Eastern. Have a great, come on, great, dang it. There we go. Night. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hbpundit.com and shrmedia.com.